What is going on, guys? It is your boy Sugo here, and today, as you can see, we are playing some Call of Duty. And well, as you can see, what this means something. Okay, I got a yeah. So my new PSN ID is Sugo HD, and the clan tag is Bear because my friend, his name is Bear, and they say it gives you good luck to give clips. So I don't know. It's seeing the time that we're talking here. They could be right. Now, before I actually get into what I have originally planned to record, I just have to say one thing. I had the probably most the rudest customer I have ever had in my life. It was like 40-year-old woman, I would say. She was about 40 years old. So she came in, and what she was doing is she literally, what happened is she came in and she was like, hey, do you guys have or she asked me, what is the difference between a quarter pounder with cheese and a deluxe burger? And I didn't know what a deluxe burger was because we don't actually have anything called a deluxe burger at my work. There's no such thing as a deluxe burger. We have quarter pounder with cheese, we have regular burgers, we actually don't have a deluxe burger. So I was sitting there and I was just like, deluxe burger? And now what, of course she was meaning to try and get me to think of was a deluxe burger. So it has lettuce, tomato. It's basically it's a deluxe burger. It's the easiest way to fucking say it. But when she said it, because I've had customers ask me, can they get a deluxe burger? And I don't know what they're asking for because we technically don't actually serve it. So, I was a bit confused, and then she explained it. She was trying to explain to me what it was. I hadn't understood it just quite yet. So basically what had happened is she was like, I come in here all the time and nobody understands what I mean by a deluxe burger. So me as a good worker, my first instinct was just I'm sorry, sorry, I don't understand. I don't have a deluxe burger, because I thought she was literally asking for a deluxe burger, as if it was an actual burger. I was trying to explain to her that I don't actually have one of those. And then out of kind of semi out of nowhere, she was like, no, I just want, you don't have a burger with lettuce, tomato, and everything? And I was just like, okay. And then she's like, yeah. And I was like, so you want to know what the difference is between that and a quarter pounder with cheese? And then she said yes. And so then I was like, okay, well, the quarter pounder with cheese is pretty much the same thing. The only difference between the quarter pounder with cheese and this burger is the lettuce and tomato. It wouldn't be on the quarter pounder with cheese. And then she looks at me and goes, never mind, I'll come back another time, or I'll come back when somebody will actually understand me, or some she said something smart ass shit like that. And I was just like, okay, I'm sorry. And then she walks I'm literally standing at the window, and I watch her walk 10 feet over to the counter and go, are you the manager? And then my manager was just like, yes. And she's like, hi, I just asked this young gentleman about a deluxe burger, and nobody ever knows what I'm talking about. And he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. And she literally pointed me out to him, and he was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, what were you asking for? And she was like, I want a burger with lettuce, tomato, this. And he's like, okay, so we don't actually have a deluxe burger, but we have an Angus burger. It comes with this, and this. And she's like, no, I want this. And then he's like, the best thing I have to you with lettuce and tomato would be the quarter BLT. And then she straight up just looked at him and was just like, okay, well, next time I guess that's what I'll order. And then just walked out. And I was like, oh, okay. And just on top of everything, on top of everything that happened that she was doing and shit, as soon as she came to order, there was customers in front of her, and I was taking a side order. I was on this till, and there was a guy on the main till, and then the guy in the main till had an order. So I was like, okay, whatever, I can help you out, I'll take an order. And I was in the middle of taking an order, or not in the middle of taking an order, I started said, hey, I can take your order now. And then she was like, oh, thank God, because we actually know what we want. And it's just holy fuck, it's McDonald's, chill. Jesus Christ, if you don't get your cheeseburger on time, I'm sorry, but it's not gonna be the end of the world. Fucking crazy ass lady though, straight, it's fucking holy shit. She was so fucking pissy and everything, and I was just like, okay, at certain points, what do you want me to do for you, lady? If I don't have something, I don't have something. I can't do anything for you. I didn't know what you were talking about, and you didn't even give me the fucking time of day to even figure out what you were talking about. You just straight up got fucking pissed at me. So anyways, to the original story, because that's what I was saying before this story. So what I wanted to tell you is the story. It's a story about it's back when I was in elementary school, and what it was is one of my sort of elementary school. We were acquaintances. We weren't friends, but we weren't best buds or anything. So I mean You know, we were acquaintances. We had actually, you know, kind of, we met in like grade 5, I think. And that's when I actually had it's my first sex ed class, like ever. That's when I actually had my first sex ed class, was that year, that date, that whatever you want to fucking call it. It was then. It was a very interesting class, I'm gonna say, because I don't know who it was. It was our first sex ed teacher, and she really wasn't good with the new terms, like the new slang words, because they were relevantly new at this time. I guess what had happened is the kid that I'm talking about, he wasn't picked on, but he was like, you know, the kids messed around with him. I mean, it could have been bullying. I don't actually know. I never really knew him too well or talked about it, and he never really talked about it. Like he would always play it on as a joke, so I never actually knew how he felt about it. I'm sorry to you if you're watching this. We were in the sex ed class, and we were just doing, you know, I guess normal things that teenagers do when it comes to sex ed classes, I guess. We weren't even teenagers at that point. I guess we were still kids. But regardless, it was like, okay, you know, write a word on the board that you like know is to do with sex, and so like there was dick, balls, there were a lot of words going around. A lot of them I wasn't familiar with, because even me, like back then, I wasn't familiar with the terms. I wasn't the greatest with sex terms. So I mean, like honestly, like I wasn't. I was pretty new to everything, and I never really actually understood most of the terms that were being talked about. I'm pretty sure I'd actually asked my dad like a night or two after one of our sex ed talks what oral sex was, because I actually had no idea. I had a zip idea what oral sex was, and you know that he explained that to me, and that wasn't awkward at all, Dan. What had happened was we were sitting there, and I don't remember exactly how long, you know, we were like talking for, but it was a relevantly decent amount of time for sex ed stuff. And then it was about the end of the class where we were asking about like questions, like any questions we had, and you know, wondering if we could get answered. And so she was like, yeah, you know, anybody that wants questions to get answered, now would be the time, you know, like ask away and I'll answer to the best of my knowledge. So one of the questions, like a couple of the questions were like, what was this? What's a blowjob? How does this work? I remember one of these questions being, what is teabagging? Like what does that term mean? At first, because what happened is a kid like fake teabag, you know, like how you teabag in Halo. A kid did that to him, but they were in their pants, and that was like relevantly new, and everybody thought that shit was funny, and maybe I didn't laugh for shit. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Like friends. A bunch of the kids that had like known what it was were just laughing, and this sex ed teacher, I swear to God, she had no idea what the fuck we were talking about. She's like, a teabag? Like what do you mean a teabag? And the kid was like, you know, like a teabag. And she's like, if I had to give it my best guess, because I'm not so sure about it, she was like, I would say it's a turkey squirter. And I was like, what? Turkey squirter? She's like, yeah, it's like the little thing that you have for a turkey squirter, and it's like the little bulge that you like suck up the juices. And I was just like, are you fucking joking, lady? A turkey squirter? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're supposed to be a sex ed teacher. You're like, I get we're in grade 5, so I mean, you can't just be like, it's when a woman like gets some straight up dick in her fucking face or some bullshit. I get that, but I mean, like, still, you could at least be like, okay, well, it's, you know, when a man's generally, like, you already told us what a blowjob was because somebody already asked. I mean, you could at least tell us what a teabag was. You know, it's not like they're so fucking different. I mean, they're a little different, but they're not entirely different. Regardless, she didn't know what it meant, and or even if she did, she wasn't telling us because she felt uncomfortable or some bullshit, I guess, you know. I don't really know how awkward it is to be a sex ed teacher. I really don't. I feel like it would be pretty awkward because you're literally talking to like young teens and shit, and you're like, and you basically have to explain to them that this is where the dick goes and this is where the vagina goes, and so I mean, like, I imagine it would be pretty awkward and shit like that. But regardless, she was like, I don't understand, like, she's like, I think it's a turkey squirter, and he's like, no, that's not really what I'm talking about. And then she's like, oh, are you sure it's a teabag then? And then he literally looked at her and he was like, can I just kind of show you how a demonstration? And she's like, sure, because she's not expecting anything, because it's like the first time she ever fucking heard it. And she's not expecting the kid to get like naked or some bullshit at all. So I mean, that didn't happen, but still, like, she wouldn't be expecting it. The kid, like, instantly he stood up and he was like, all right, Malcolm, get on the floor. By the way, there's a kid named Malcolm. He was friends with him, and it was like everybody burst out laughing. I burst out laughing at that point because it was like, are you fucking serious, kid? Like, I get she doesn't know me, but still, like, holy shit, you literally just told this kid to get on the floor so you could literally squat down in the middle of his face, putting your junk in his fucking face. It was fucking hilarious just listening to that. I mean, I feel bad for the kid after saying this and everything, because I mean, he was a kid at the point, so he didn't really know. But I mean, still, it's actually fucking hilarious. I don't know whether I want to try and grind Exclusion Zone on this, because I don't know, maybe I might grind it. I'll try to. I don't know. I might just kind of prestige grind for a little bit or not. I don't know. Anyways, getting back to the story, yeah. So like the teacher was just like, never mind. Everybody was burst out laughing and everything. And then I think one of the kids was like, it's when you squat and then like you're squatting in somebody's face. And then she was like, oh, that. And then she knew what it was, and she was like, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. And it was like so many of us were laughing, and it was pretty funny, but it must have been so embarrassing for the kid, and I feel bad looking back on it. But I mean, there's only so much of me that I can contain, you know, like I just, there's a point where I'm just like, okay, that's it, like I can't go on any longer, you know, like you can only be expected to like not to be like, I wouldn't say to be nice or anything, but like just to like contain yourself when something's that like obvious, or somebody's clearly not getting something and you're like trying not to laugh your ass off. So you can only, I mean, I couldn't blame myself. I couldn't blame anybody in the class, because I mean, at the point when you ask your friend to get on the floor so that you can explain how a teabag works, or demonstrate and physically put your fucking crotch in his face, I mean, pretty rough, dude. So I mean, like, on everything all set aside and all, it was a pretty hilarious moment, you know. I mean, like every I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Like that was so long ago, but still, like, just you were gonna put your friend through it because you didn't know what it was, and you were worried that it was like something bad. You were worried that it was something bad, and then just out of nowhere, you're just like, hey, buddy, I need you to get on the floor. One, why would you even ask? I get you want to know what it is, but why would you even ask your friend? That you clearly knew it was something bad because people had like done it to you and said it was funny and laughed at it. So you clearly knew it was something, but just, you don't use your friends as dummies, you know? I don't care how curious you are about this shit. You don't get to use your friend as a dummy. It doesn't work that way. I get you're in grade 5. I get that, but dude, no. I like how I'm actually like talking as if it's like actually making a difference, you know, like I'm like, where I'm like, dude, you just can't do that shit, like it's actually gonna make a difference. Like it didn't, I mean, I know it didn't change shit, but I mean, like just thinking about it like back now to compare to then, like that shit was fucking real. And like I mean over the years, even in those classes, my sex ed like classes never improved. They were always as bad. They were just terrible. Like the teachers, I guess, just didn't know like what they were kind of dealing with, because everybody kind of thought kids weren't that like crazy involved in sex. I mean, that kids just weren't that crazy involved. You know, they were just like a bit. They were just like, hey, you know, like I know that girls blowjobs and vaginas and cunnilingus or shit like that, but like nobody really think that anybody would know like, hey, this is a teabag, this is 69, this is that. But no, my school, we got around with the vocabulary a lot. We knew some shit. Really not proud to say that we did, but we did, dude. So anyways, that's probably been everything for the video today. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, and yeah, it's been your boy Sugo. Peace.